Hi everyone. Today I am using my 3.9 by 3.9 mini sketchbook. I was a little hesitant to start on these mini sketchbooks, but I found I really love them. And this one in particular, I didn't like at first. I felt like the binding was going to fall apart, but I really enjoyed it. So I will link that in the description. I just got it on Amazon. It's I think there's a 2-pack for about $20, or at least when I purchased it last. So anyway, I have been working on portraits, faces, particularly at this time, women's faces. I may move over to the men's here in the future, but right now I'm still focusing on women. So in here, with the mini sketchbook, I pulled a source from online. I think for this one, I used Pinterest, found something that looked interesting. And I'm using my alcohol markers that I got at Hobby Lobby. I've been really just working with the grayscale. I think it helps me focus on the values of the image rather than trying to add in all of the lines. Been really trying to keep everything very loose. So with this one, I started before, earlier on in my sketchbooks, I would start with pen, but I've backed away from that because I would always add in the values after the pen, and that was fine. But I also noticed that my my facial structure was off sometimes. Sometimes I felt like the eyes weren't exactly where I would want them to be. It was okay, but I thought that I could do a little bit better. And so I think I was on vacation when I had this thought. I was at a hotel and I just was like, well, if I start with the marker and add the values first, then I could add the details over top of it. And I really liked how the images have kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's improved them, but I like the process better because I can see and I can adjust before I put in the details. That's what I did here. I added the gray. I usually start with I don't even know what color it is. It's a very light gray. And then I added a slightly darker gray, just very minimal to accentuate those values that I was really looking to pull out. And then here, I'm just using a fine point Sharpie to put in those details, keeping it very loose. I've been experimenting with my lines lately. What I find is that I really like the messy lines. I like it the way that it turns out with the messy lines. You can kind of see the image next to this one on the left-hand side, and those lines are very structured. They're not messy like on the right-hand side. So I enjoy the process on the right better than the left. I don't know. That's just what I'm finding. And so I went back to the alcohol marker. This one is a little bit darker. I can't tell which one it is. It might be. So I started with the 0.5 and then the 1, and this one I think is like the 6, maybe the 6 or the 9, to really put in those darks. There is a point here that I feel like looking back, I wish that I would have just stopped. I probably didn't need to add all that dark in her hair. I should have really just focused on the lighter grays on the face and really just focused on that area. But it's a mini sketchbook. It's meant to experiment with, at least for me. That's the whole point of having it. It's easy to carry around. I have a bag that I take everywhere. It's a bag that has my artwork on it. It's just a tote bag. And I have a little bag of markers and pens that I carry in that. I take it everywhere with me, just in case. You never know when you're going to stop at the park with your kids and let them play while you draw. Or you never know when you're going to be stuck waiting for your family in the car for some reason, if they're running somewhere or what. But I just like to take that with me. It's very compact. The mini sketchbook's very easy to transport. I really wanted to work on the larger images, but since moving to these smaller ones, I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. So it looks like I moved on to, I brought in another pen. Oh, this one. So I think that marker was a 6, and that was probably a 9 that I used to kind of add in jagged lines over top of her hair. But right now I'm using one of I think it's the Micron waterproof pens. So this one has a finer tip than the fine tip Sharpie. So that's why I switched to that and added some little scribbles into the different places inside of the values, the shadows and things. I just like the way that it looks. So I just went over that a few more times, and in my sketchbooks, I always like to date it at the end so I can keep track of my progress. Thanks for joining. Bye.